this piece is entitled Free Things in Coffee Shops. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Asia. Your breath begins to fog up the coffee shop's window as you reiterate the fact that it's cold. I slowly nod and say, well, Chicago, it's our first official date, but I already know where this will end. I'm not meant for relationships. See, because a professor once told me that the more education a woman gets, the less likely she will be married. But what does it even mean to be part of an institution that makes me forget I am human and reminds me that I am a robot, a powerless object with so much potential spewing out of my pie as my apron gets dirty? When did I become this cynical? Looking at you as if you are not the answer to life's inequalities, and I wonder how many times patriarchy has hurt you, because they say that masculinity is 10 times more fragile. I wonder, when have you been fragile? Looked at a woman and called her what she was, human. Looked at a man and called him what he was, human. But why must I use my privilege and assume that we must all look at each other and think human? Inequality pours out of my veins because I have lived in its existence, and you cannot challenge my views because I am critical. Or can you be critical? Learn to listen to my voice and hear me. Look at me and think beauty, but beauty that's relative to my intelligence, and do not mock my intelligence. When did I become so cynical? Don't you dare come near me and claim post-racial. Do not look at me and think exotic. I may be from the jungles of Chicago, but I am not your representation of spicy, of feisty, of caliente. I will not be your stereotype to walk around with, hold hands, and assume that I will call you Papi, please. Give me some credit. This private liberal arts education was not in vain, so let's look at your social location and my social location and assume that we have no location. But baby, where does that leave us? You notice someone walking into the cafe and say, look at that girl over there. I say, it's woman. And you say, don't be so politically correct. But baby, the personal is political. I am not meant for relationships. My mind continuously moves back and forth from inequality to inequality, from oppression to oppression. And I wonder whether you think about the world as much as I do. You claim you want to be a lawyer, but how can you argue for justice that does not exist? When did I become so cynical? I want to look at the world the way you do. Make believe that meritocracy is based on equality. Make believe that those bootstraps are all given to us at the damn same time. Make believe that I have just as much of a chance to earn the same paycheck as you would, but I don't, and you won't. So we sit there as you fog up the window, look out into the busy street, and reiterate the fact that it's cold. I look down at my coffee and say, well, Chicago.